Good evening, dear viewers. Thanks for joining us on the 7 p.m. Flash Info on Reflect Africa Television. Following the tragic murder of school children on October 24th in Kumba, Southwest Region, Professor Marie-Thérèse Abena-Ondoa, Minister for the Promotion of Women and the Family, presided over a ceremony in the country's political capital, Yaoundé, denouncing and lamenting in the presence of several members of the government and many relatives. During her speech, she returned to the circumstances surrounding the murder of 7 school children in Fiango's Southwest Region of Cameroon. In her outing, she stated that it is obvious that drug dealers, thieves and thugs have taken advantage of the insecurity in the region to commit atrocities. According to Minister Thérèse Abena, she uses the occasion to extend her heartfelt condolences to the bereaved family and all those affected by the incident. In her speech, she calls for a joint stop to barbarism, calling on everyone to stop it immediately, as tomorrow might be too late and the next victims might be our own blood if we maintain a complete silence. Pope Francis has reacted to the recent murder of school children at the Mother Francisca Bilingual Academy over the weekend in Kumba, Southwest Region. In a statement on the killing dated today, October 28, 2020, Pope Francis said, "I feel great dismay at such a cruel and senseless act which stole life from the innocent little ones while they were taking lessons at school." The Pope's call adds to the condemnation of the national and international community of the shooting that left 7 students dead. The Pope added that he hopes weapons are silenced and that the safety of all and the right of each young person to education and a future can be guaranteed. Calling on God to enlighten the strength and hearts of humans so that similar actions may never repeat again and that may the tormented English-speaking regions find peace, he expressed his affection to the families, the city of Kumba and Cameroon in general. After the murder of 7 school children in the Mother Francisca International Bilingual College by yet-to-be-identified gunmen, the education community has been touched once more with the murder of Dr. Kiafong Luciano Sonjo in Bamenda, chief town of the Northwest Region. Dr. Kiafong Luciana Sonjo was the regional pedagogic inspector for the West Region. He is reported to have been kidnapped and killed by yet-to-be-identified armed men yesterday, October 28, 2020, in Bamenda. According to reports, the pedagogic inspector was in Bamenda to visit his family when he met his demise. Residents of Maifong in Bamenda woke up to his lifeless body in the neighborhood. The killing and kidnap of teachers, school authorities, pupils and students have been rampant since the outbreak of the 4-year ongoing crisis. Women, children, youth, and the international bodies have cried for a ceasefire. The demand for the respect of human rights is being called for. It is noted that the Northwest and Southwest regions of Cameroon remains the center of unprecedented attacks and chaos. Ivorians will this Saturday, October 31st, go to the polls to elect a new president. Ahead of the vote, one of the 4 candidates contesting in the presidential election, Kwadwo Konan Bertin, popularly known as KKB, is calling on voters to cast their ballot. His call comes after opposition parties asked their supporters to boycott the polls. They have called for a boycott, accusing the electoral authorities and Constitutional Council of being biased and unable to guarantee a fair election. He stated, "Deserting the polls is not the solution. I have always said it and I repeat, I ask only one thing of the Ivorians, that they go and vote." Kwadwo reported for his independent candidate for the presidential election. Report from this country states that dozen candidates have been barred from running in the election, including former President Laurent Gbagbo and ex-rebel chief Guillaume Soro, who played key roles in the 2010-11 crisis. At least 30 people have been killed in clashes since August when Alassane Ouattara announced he would run again for presidential election. Tanzanians have begun voting this morning to elect their president and members of parliament. The outgoing head of state, John Magufuli, nicknamed the Bulldozer, faces main opposition Tundu Lissu, who has been able to challenge the opposition largely stifled during the last 5 years. On the semi-autonomous archipelago of Zanzibar, the situation had become clearly tense on Tuesday, with an opposition candidate briefly arrested and an accusation from his party that security forces had killed 10 people. In the early hours of today, in the Garagara neighborhood on the outskirts of Stone Town in Zanzibar, police fired tear gas and live ammunition yesterday, October 27th. More than 29 million voters are expected at the polls from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. in mainland Tanzania and 556,000 on the semi-autonomous archipelago of Zanzibar, which together constitute the United Republic of Tanzania. Tanzania is noted to inhabit over 58 million people. In Zanzibar, voters not only vote in national election, that's the presidential legislative, but also to appoint the president and parliamentarians of the archipelago. According to reports from the city, opening of polling stations in the country, notably in Dodoma, the administrative capital, in Arusha, the big city of the north, and Moshi, a city located near Arusha at the foot of Mount Kilimanjaro, which is the highest peak in Africa, were effective. There have been reports of the restriction of internet access earlier this morning across the country, with some users experiencing difficulties in sharing and downloading images on Twitter and WhatsApp. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. This is the package we gathered for you for the 7 p.m. edition of the News Flash. Stay tuned for another edition of the news at 8 p.m. Until then, have a good evening.